We are back and welcome back to Max and Katie Build Cars. This is part 2 where we're going to get the interior of this Mini from looking like this into an interior that looks a bit cleaner like this. Yeah, it's just a case of I'm going to keep scraping. I just got that side to tidy up, which out of the two sides is pretty much the easier of the two sides. You can pretty much see that there's not much rust there. A lot of that is just, well, dirt from scraping all this really. So get the dirt cleaned up, I'll see what bad bits of rust are to do. Get it scraped and get it looking sort of similar level to this. Then clean both sides with a bit of soapy water and spray it, and hopefully get it coming out looking like the rest of that. Alright, and that is the end result of the scraping and the de-rusting for the back half. I've decided, to split it into two halves, so using the beam as the middle point. The bench is already done, that looks really good. The floor, now all it needs is the spray paint, the no more rust paint, I'm going to call it from now on, because I don't know what it's actually called. Paint all the bottom of the floor, paint all the inside, everything all around here. I think that's going to look really good, at least it's primed, it's not going to rust anymore. So I'm going to take the all rust sprayer and start with just getting it all into the creases, just around the edges first, and then making sure I get a good covering across the whole floor plan. Just to make sure I get every nooks and crevice, all the little scratches, everything filled in. Same on the other side, getting into the creases first, going around all the floor, making sure that all the bits of exposed metal are definitely covered, and then just to make sure the whole area is covered with the no rust paint. Alright, and that is the end result, just applied. It all looks tacky and a bit, but once it dries it does go like that, and I think it'll look really smart. I'm sure there'll be little imperfections. I'll run around and smarten it all up as I go, but for now it needs 24 hours before we can really do anything else. So we'll check in about 8 AM tomorrow morning, see how it's dried, see if there's any patches that we missed, see if there's anything that needs tidying up, and then we will move on to the front of the car, which I think is the bigger of the two jobs, to be honest. We still need to scrape all that out, The parcel shelf itself is already black. It's already looking good. Underneath there's no rust, there's no joints, it's just a bit dusty in there from being sat outside. But clean that up, get that finished, and that will be pretty much the interior done. Then we'll assess whether or not we need to get any professional help, and I'll show you why. So in here you can sort of see, I think this is the sill, and just underneath there where my finger is going, I think there's a hole that comes out just underneath the car there, and I think that means that all of this is starting to pull away. I don't think I can tackle a problem like that with what I've got here. I think that needs to get sent somewhere professional. So, but for now, we'll continue tomorrow to get the front of this looking as good as the back of this. Get it all finished, done, cleaned up. One of the big problems at the front of the car is, you can see here, this bubbling up stuff. That's not actually paint, that's the glue that they use to glue the carpet down. It's like tar, it's set like tar, and God, it's hard to get off. But yeah, so far, I think we're making really good progress, finally. Yeah, absolutely smashing it with the progress, really happy with how things are going. And to make sure that we get the paint to stick, I'm just prepping the area now, getting the rest of that tar off, and there we go, ready for paint. So this is it, final day of the interior of the Mini. We're gonna, quite simply, get the front to look as good as the back, and we can finally move on. We can finally start doing things to the engine, to the gearbox, to the drive shafts, to whatever, as long as it's not interior related, because I'm so bored of the interior. Couple of little jobs still to go. I'll be honest, I still haven't done the roof lining. Just is what it is. And I need to clean up the chairs, take the old leather off, clean up the frames, get them painted, get them looking good, make sure that they fit in with the theme of the car, and then that'll be part 2 complete of the interior. Then we can finally move on, and I need your thoughts and feedback on what you think of the interior, what we did well, what we didn't do so well. Let me know if we're missing anything important, please. Yeah, so head down to the comments, and then that way you can get involved and help us out. Let us know if we missed anything, let us know if there's anything you would have done differently. But right now what I'm doing is basically taking the sander that I borrowed from my friend Sergio, so thanks Sergio, really appreciate that. and I'm going around the bottom of the car now, just prepping the last of the surfaces, making sure it's nice and smooth, ready for the rest of the paint to go on, especially in the front footwells where, as you know, the rust was super bad. So now getting the rest of the interior of the car just polished up, sanded down, nice and smooth, make it even. That's it. Okay, that is the floor all cleaned up, washed up, scrubbed up. I know it doesn't look like much, but it is completely rust free. All in this area, all down here, all down here. Super happy with that. Got the rail nice and cleaned up and sanded down to even. Like I know these bit of red patches still, but it's even, it's all sanded down. Same here, all the way across. And it is pretty much, I know it's a bit brown and mucky still, but it is pretty much done. It is ready for paint. It is just drying. And that will be job done on the mini floor. Okay, so big reveal tomorrow. We'll let it dry overnight and then we'll see how it looks. But Katie's just seen it for the first time. So what did you think, Katie?
It looks really good.
Yeah?
It looks brand new.
Brand new?
Yeah.
Are you happy with it?
Yeah, really happy.
It's a bit rough and I'll have to explain myself in the morning when we see it in the daytime. But what do you think?
It looks good.
Yeah?
It looks really good.
Yeah? Happy?
Yeah, really happy.
Happy? At least now we can move on to doing like some of the fun stuff like the engine, the brakes, the suspension, the subframes, the everything else. Everything.
Seats are my favourite bit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Can't wait, can't wait. But for now,
Dinner time.
dinner time. Alright, it is the next morning after the painting. I am over the moon with this and it's not perfect, but for what we were trying to achieve, it's ideal, which is basically to get the rust stopped. So let me show you. As you've already seen, you can see how well these benches and the floor came out. But what I'm really happy with is that. So you can see how well this came out after a bit of sanding. It's almost like mirror finish. I'm really happy with that. The floors are all protected. This rail in the middle came out super nice. Really happy with that. As you can probably tell, I actually ran out of black paint, so this bit we just sprayed with the cream. I'll correct that. It's not a problem. I will correct that. It's just because I ran out of black paint, but we needed to get this sprayed because we needed to protect it from rust to make sure it didn't rust again. So you can see on that side it came out really nicely. Just the firewall left to do once I get some more black paint. But considering the morning after and this, oh, it's so good. I'm really happy with all of that. Chuffed to bits with the results, especially in the back. I mean, I think the back is definitely the better of the two. So here we go, let's do some befores. Okay, so the floor is, I think, pretty good right now. And yes, okay, I need to sort out the fact that it's different patches of colours. I'll sort that out, it's no problem. But considering that I am not a mechanic, I've never done anything like this before, and to get the Mini to this stage, just me and Katie, with zero mechanical skills, I am over the moon. And the floor looks just fantastic. I'm really happy with it. So that's it for now. For the interior at least, we've got that done, and now it means we can start moving on to, in my opinion, some of the more fun things like tackling the engine, tackling the wheels, and I think what's going to be really fun is doing an oil change. I know for a fact Katie hasn't done an oil change, so I might make Katie do it. And then we can have a bit of fun watching Katie do it. I think she'll do an amazing job, don't get me wrong, but it's going to be fun. It's always fun watching somebody do it for the first time. But there you go. That is now the Mini interior, pretty much complete. Really happy with it, and considering we've the only knowledge I've had to rebuild this is just whatever I found online, through YouTube, doing research, reading the mini manuals. I'm over the moon. I am actually over the moon. The car is still going to go to the body shop and get checked over by professionals, and there's definitely some welding to fix the hole in the floor that still needs doing, but for now I'm happy, really happy, and it's stopped it from rusting. It will stop it from rusting. That was the #1 goal. That's it. The only reason why I haven't shown you the boot as well, just let me explain, is because actually the boot was one of the few things on this car that didn't need any attention. We literally cleaned it. We scraped out all the dust, all the bits and bobs that were in there, just scraped it out, give it a clean. Immaculate. Not a spot of rust, not even scratch paint, nothing. Really happy with that. Just some like little finicky bits when we come to start finishing the car. It needs a new battery cover and, you know, a new boot line and stuff like that, but that sort of stuff isn't that important right now. The main important thing is getting this Mini running now. At least even just so we could drive it to the body shop. The first thing that we need to do is change all the fluids, and then the second thing we need to do is I am going to get a new radiator on the car because of this. So yeah, this is why I think it needs a new radiator. You can see here that at some point it's had an explosion, it's overheated, and I think it's had a new bonnet because I think at some point this has popped off, hit the bonnet and made a mess of everything in here. You can see that actually this fan blade, or one of the fan blades somewhere on there, is actually snapped, and they've just sort of glued it back together so it's all wobbly. And one of the main reasons why this car probably did overheat, ignoring the very, very high temperatures that we get out here, but I think it's because this radiator seems to have either been botched together, or I don't know if this is how it came at the factory. I wouldn't imagine so. Thankfully the radiator bracket seems okay. This I'm going to change just because I don't know how corroded these bolts are going to be and such things. So I got a new one of them. But yeah, the main reason why this will have overheated, the main reason is going to be, I don't know if you can see that, but those vanes there on the inside, which basically means this fan is on backwards. And yes, that would have been the right orientation if the engine was mounted this way. So traditionally speaking, I think this engine was also on the MGs, and the Series 8 engine would normally be mounted like this. And what that means is that fan would push cooler and fresher air across the engine like this. On a Mini, in order to save space, instead of having the engine lengthways, it was turned 90 degrees and mounted sideways. But what that means is the fan could no longer push air this way, because all you're doing is getting hot air from the engine and pushing it back towards the engine. So the fans were actually turned 180 degrees, so put on backwards. What actually happens is fresh air would come in through the front, collect in here, get heated up by the engine, and then sucked into the radiator by the fan. So the air would literally just get sucked straight that way into the radiator, and that's what will cool the engine. I definitely had some cooling issues with this radiator, and as a result at some point it definitely exploded out. Also, I can't get it on the camera, I've really tried, but I think there's a hole in the bottom of this radiator. So I think one of the first jobs we're going to have to do on this engine is to basically change the whole cooling system. To do that, new thermostat going on, new thermostat housing. I've got all new hoses, new radiator, new fan, and you get the joys of watching me tear my knuckles off. Also in this engine bay, what we're going to have to do is start moving on to some of the more general maintenance first, and then probably a bit more into the depths. Unfortunately, we're going to need a new rocker cover and new oil cap, that's completely perished. All the things like the brackets and stuff just need a clean. There's no rust here, which I'm quite thankful for. The engine looks a bit naff, but again, I think it's just needs a clean. Each one of these leads, I've got all new leads coming. Each one of these leads, the pattern was unfortunately a bit worn off, but when I googled them, it's something like that one's from a Honda, that one's from a Nissan, that one's from a Mercedes, and this one is actually from a van. So all new HD leads going on, that's coming soon. And the next biggest job I think on the Mini is a new wiring harness. Now this wiring harness has been pulled apart, it's been chewed up, it's been sliced open, it's been everything that you don't want a wiring harness to be really, in order to make stuff work over time. So I think what I'm going to do is to make my life a bit easier, is literally just to go around the car, label it all up with the different points of the wiring harness and take it all apart. Then in order to get the car running properly, you can see here, if I just zoom in, you can see how chewed up and mashed up that has been. The one on the right, the pulley on the right, is where a choke cable should be, which attaches into that hole there and then eventually goes into the car, which is completely missing. And you can see how mashed up that throttle linkage, I think it's called, has become. And that's one of the main reasons why we get the sticky throttle, is because that just gets stuck, because that tiny little spring is definitely not enough. But yeah, the next job is to get all this cleaned up. I'm going to take the carburetor off and do my first ever carburetor service, where I basically pull it apart, re-oil it, put it back together. That's where I'll fix a lot of these things, put it back on. And I think eventually in the long run I would like to take the engine out, just so I can get it cleaned up properly, make sure everything's working in detail, which will be fun, because I've never ever done that. So all I can say is, let's just keep going, one job at a time, and then slowly over time, we will be able to get this car running again. But for now, what we need to do is just get it to a point where it can run for a certain distance of time, just so we can get it to the body shop without it overheating. If not, I'll just have to get a trailer. But in order to do that, new throttle cable needs to go on, then new cooling system, all new fluids. I think then the car pretty much is drivable, apart from the fact that the front number plate fell off. So I'll have to figure that one out. But for now, that's it.